You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Defending liberty 1 hour at a time and broadcasting live from the RWB Network studios in New York City. This is the Ryno Report. Always right.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go.
We are going to raise taxes on the middle class.
What you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
You are very rude.
We are going to make America great again.
USA! USA! USA!
Fellow Americans, Let's roll.
And now, here's your host, the Ryno.
The new sheriff in town. Hello. I am the Ryno, and this is my report. We're coming to you from the RWB Network studios here in New York and live on CRN Digital Talk Radio. So, while President Obama is busy spending his final days in the White House, issuing pardons and commutations to thousands of incarcerated criminals and drug dealers, one Illinois teenager is busy trying to get into prison. A girl illegally exploring the now-closed Joliet Correctional Facility found herself temporarily incarcerated after entering a cell and closing the door behind her. After realizing she couldn't open the cell, she Googled the fire department's phone number and called them to get her out. All told, she was locked up for about 45 minutes. Oh, and the state police also issued her a ticket for trespassing. I'm pretty sure the judge is going to give her time served. All right, let's get to today's headlines first. After being accused of hiring hookers to urinate on a bed in Russia, President-elect Donald Trump uses his Wednesday press conference at Trump Tower to take a big steaming dump on CNN. Also, with only 8 days left until Trump is officially sworn in, did the Clinton News Network just cost Time Warner $85 billion? We also have cabinet confirmations continuing today on the Hill. Highlights include retired Marine General James Mattis, a 40-year veteran, getting lectured by a junior senator from New York, and Senator Little Marco Rubio asking Mike Pompeo and Rex Tillerson to go on the record based on mainstream media reporting. And as financials from 2016 continue to roll in, it is clear that Hillary Clinton is without a doubt the biggest loser. But who do you think came in second? All that plus New Jersey Democrat Senator Cory Booker breaks tradition to testify against a Senate colleague. We have T-Bone's reaction to this news. Also, Republicans inch even closer to repealing Obamacare, and Mexican Presidente Nieto speaks out against the border wall, albeit not as eloquently as Vicente Fox did last week. We have all that, plus your daily dose of common sense you can only find here on the Ryno Report 5 days a week. But first, let's kick the show off the same way we always do, with a salute to our country with a Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, guys, you know the drill. Check out RynoReport.com, RynoReport.com, new articles, new Ryno rants. You can sign up for the newsletter, lots of cool stuff. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Ryno, R-Y-N-O on air, and the same thing on Gab, same handle, at Ryno on air. We're on Facebook, Facebook.com/The Ryno Report, and we'll talk a little bit about that in the next segment. Also, you can email me, Ryno, R-Y-N-O, at rwbnetwork.com. Do not go anywhere. We have a lot to get to. Hey, guys. Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty Health Share. If your health care has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty Health Share could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty Health Share. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your health care. Liberty Health Share offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty Health Share offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty Health Share today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today. All right, guys, welcome back to this edition of the Ryno Report. Big shout out to everyone listening right now, live, Red Nation Rising Radio, as well as streaming talk radio and KLRN Radio, who carries our late night feed, midnight Eastern, Tuesday, Saturday, KLRNradio.com. You can check out the old shows, iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, or iHeartRadio, and Tina has a new take. Tina's Take, episode number 8. That's on Spreaker.com, so Spreaker.com/Tina's Take, and you can check that out and comment there. So I said we'd talk about Facebook for just a minute here. I'm not a big Facebook guy. I'm not on it all the time. I don't care what you're having for lunch. I don't care what your kids are having for lunch. I don't care who learned to tie their shoes. I just don't care. I really don't. I can't emphasize that enough. I'm on there essentially for business reasons and to communicate with people. That's about it. I don't care who I went to high school with and where they're working and how many boils they have. I don't care. But there is this trend going on I want your input on. So everybody seems to have these Facebook Live videos. And anyone who's anybody, they're in a car, they're talking, they're whatever, Facebook Living, police interactions. Well, it's going on the radio circuit too. See, the whole thing back in the day, when you got really big with radio, they did a simulcast. And you can look at guys like Howard Stern or Imus, right? Big guys. They get a video simulcast, Mike Francesa, the sports guy, #1 sports guy in the country. But every Tom, Dick, and Harry that has a little conservative talk show, now they have these Facebook Live feeds. So I'm going to put it to you guys. Do you want me to do one? If you want me to do one, I will do it. I'm Italian. I talk with my hands a lot. No one's around to see it, but I guess if the Facebook Live is on, maybe you'll see it. So email me, whatever you think. Twitter me, email me, Ryno@rwbnetwork.com or @RynoOnAir. Let me know what you think. If there's enough clamor for it, I guess I'll do it. Otherwise, I guess I'd rather not. But, all right, let's get back to this first story is incredible. This girl she's trespassing. She's at the Joliet Correctional Facility. That thing closed in like 2002. It was open from, I think, 1858, and they closed it in 2002. They've used it as a movie set a few times. The Historical Society there is trying to get people to go visit it. You know, it's kind of like Eastern Penitentiary in Pennsylvania. You go, they put you in a cell for 5 minutes, or Alcatraz, they do that too, right? So this may drum up some support for this. She's exploring this correctional facility, which if you've ever been in one, I've been in many of them, I don't know, there's not much going on. It's a lot of concrete, it's a lot of metal, and that's about it. It's the big house. I mean, and she locks herself in a cell. What did she think was going to happen? When you go into one of these prisons and you close the door, they're meant not to be open from the inside. That's the whole point of a prison. So she Googles the fire department because she didn't want to call the police. She thought she might get in trouble. Well, who do you think the fire department's going to call? So they come and they had to knock the bricks down around the cell because they couldn't even open the cell door either. I guess she should have brought a crowbar or some dental floss with her, something to get out of there. 45 minutes she spent in jail, and the cops did give her a ticket for trespassing. It reminded me of that story we did, it's probably early September, late August, when the whole Pokemon Go thing was really big. Now, I'm told it's still really big, although I don't see marauding groups of children running around my front yard anymore. And there was a guy who saw a Pokemon thing, whatever those little things are. He saw one in a prison. I think it was in Sacramento or it was a county jail. Maybe it was San Bernardino. It was something out in California, go figure. And he tried to jump over the fence to get into jail to retrieve this Pokemon thing. So they actually wound up giving him a free stay. He got a free stay for a few nights for doing that. So, word to the wise, don't break into prison. It's just not a good idea. And if you do happen to go to jail, there's a good chance President Obama's going to let you out in the next 8 days. This guy is full of commutations and pardons. It's all he's doing lately. Well, besides not really recognizing half of Israel as a country. That's all this has been the most productive time of President Obama's entire 2 terms has been the last 3 weeks. We'll get into more of that later. Also, this snow, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of Northern California and Colorado now. There's a story out of Breckenridge, Colorado. They got 50 inches of snow in 4 days. So averaging 12.5 inches a day for 4 days gives you 50 inches. That in and of itself is pretty cool. I love snow. I can't get enough of it. What happened at one of these places was there was a hotel, and the roof started to cave in. So the local police were going from room to room saying, you got to get out, you got to get out, you got to get out. So people are running around, grabbing their iPhones, Facebook Live, and they get out. And what happens is the roof starts to compromise the structure, and it ruptures a gas line. And when it ruptured the gas line, then a fire ensued. It's like you can't win for losing. And they have some of the mountains out there. It's rare you have to close a ski mountain because of too much snow. But they've had like 9 people rescued from avalanches. There's avalanche dangers everywhere. So I guess be safe if you're out there. Lake Tahoe got like 7 feet of snow. Mammoth Mountain got like 10 feet of snow. In California, nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. Just like this fake news story. I don't even know how to unpack this, to be completely honest with you. I guess someone was hired, a British intelligence officer was hired to dig up dirt on Trump. And apparently this all started, maybe the Hillary campaign funded this, maybe some GOP little ears were involved with this. So what they do is they dig up this dossier, and I hate that word. Can we just call it a file? It's a folder. 35 pages is not a dossier. I do air conditioner installs that are 60 pages long, and I go, here's your folder. Oh, here's your dossier for your air conditioner. So they have this file, 35 pages, and apparently it outlines how Donald Trump at some point was in Russia, and he paid a couple of hookers to pee on the bed where the Obamas had stayed, I guess, recently. This is what I've gotten so far. Mainstream media is so bad at actually giving you the facts that you have to read 25 different stories to get a straight answer on how many hookers peed on how many beds. That's how bad it is now. So this thing, BuzzFeed publishes the whole thing, 35 pages. Trump goes wild with this at a press conference yesterday. He also works really well yesterday to change the narrative. And we'll talk about that too, because this thing is squashed. We're talking about it because it's out there. But it's squashed, it's done, it's finito. So we got that. We got to go over that. And I guess James Clapper called Trump to say it wasn't the intel community that supplied mainstream media with this. This is getting really, really thick in the weeds. We're going to try to burn the haystack here to find the needle. Also, Michael Goodwin, great article in the New York Post. We'll talk about that. And did CNN cost themselves $85 billion by running with this story from BuzzFeed? We have a lot to get to today, guys. Do not go anywhere. You're listening to the Ryno Report, defending liberty 1 hour at a time.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com.
This is Larry Minetti for Herpanicin, the acne medication that really works from the inside out. If you suffer from skin problems, Herpanicin is the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out and gets rid of all kinds of acne and blemishes on your back, neck, and your face. It works so well, you can look and feel like a movie star. Herpanicin, a natural supplement created by Dr. Wayne Diamond. You take a pill, and that's it. I've been on these supplements, and they really work, folks. Don't be afraid to look in the mirror ever again. Get Herpanicin today. Call 888-467-4200. That's 888-467-4200. Herpanicin, it really works. 888-467-4200. Tell them Larry Minetti told you to call. And look and feel like $1 million with Herpanicin. Call 888-467-4200.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for our sizzling party savings. Book your wedding event or reception, your birthday bash, or a special event of any kind and celebrate at Angelo's and Vinci's. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate in one of our many festive banquet rooms. It's an incredible fun event you will never forget. Food, music, and lots of fun. Call for the details, and don't forget our daily lunch and dinners, plus our Sunday champagne brunch. Just $14.95. Minestrone soup, sausage and peppers, pastas, chicken dishes, salads, scones, and muffins. Plus so much more, a chocolate fondue fountain, Zeppelis, cannolis, fresh fruit, champagne, and Junior will be waiting to make the omelet of your choice from our omelet bar. Angelo's and Vinci's has been voted on the Orange County Hot List as one of the top 5 Italian restaurants for the past 6 years. And don't forget our award-winning pizzas. Thin or thick, they're yummy. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022, 714-879-4022. All
right, guys, welcome back to this edition of the Ryno Report. We're talking about Donald Trump and dossiers and urinating hookers. We've really taken a wrong direction here on this show. But you know what? Let's just assume for a second that some of this is true. There's some kernel of truth that Donald Trump paid a couple of hookers to pee in a bed. Listen, everybody has their sexual proclivities, I guess, right? I mean, some days you got to put on the blonde wig, and other days you got to tinkle in the bed. I guess that's how this works. So, this thing all boils over. BuzzFeed's going nuts. Twitter's going nuts. All the fake media, the fake news, they're all going nuts over this. So Trump comes out. We're going to have a press conference. Haven't had a press conference in July or whatever it's been. So we're going to have a press conference. And before the press conference, they're bringing out all of these folders, and they're putting them on this, like, folding table next to the podium. I assume, is that a dossier? I don't know, a dossier of folders? Is that even a term? And someone says, oh, that's probably all the paperwork he has to sign to turn his company over to Don Jr. and Eric. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, perfect. He's going to change the entire narrative here. This is what Donald Trump does. It's what he's so good at. How many times during the election, the general election period, did you think, well, this is it. He's got to step down. They can't get any worse. And then, boom, Billy Bush pops up. And then something else pops up. It's what he's so good at. Forget being a real estate mogul. This guy's a media titan. He has everybody questioning the validity of sources and news stories from the alphabets and from CNN and MSNBC and the whole lot of them. We're all questioning everything. That we're questioning our intelligence agencies. He's like the great communicator without a great vocabulary. That's what he is. And I love it. I'm not saying anything, I'm not trying to besmirch the guy here. I love what he's doing. But it took someone like that. It took a real person for this to start happening. So he's going through the press conference. Sean Spicer comes out, totally denounces this BuzzFeed thing. Governor Mike Pence, Vice President-elect Mike Pence, does the same thing, rails against BuzzFeed, CNN, bad story, setting the stage for Donald Trump. And he comes out and he answers a few questions and he brings somebody on to talk about how he's signed over his company, and there is no conflict because the president can't have conflict. He muddies the waters so well. So well. I thought the entire press corps forgot about this BuzzFeed thing for a second. And then he takes questions. And it started getting a little dicey. You have this guy, Jim Acosta, from CNN. Now, Trump is lambasting CNN. And this guy wants to try and defend what CNN did. And this is the exchange. This is what they said.
Sir, since you're attacking us, can you give us a question? No, Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Mr. President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are attacking our news organization.
Your organization.
Can you give us a chance to ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can you state,
Quiet.
Mr. President-elect,
go ahead.
Can you state
she's asking a question. Don't
Mr.
be rude.
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
You're fake news. Don't be rude. Sit down, jerk. You're fake news. I love it. I love every single minute of it. He's trying to defend. CNN ran with a story that was totally unfounded. There is no proof. People in Washington, intel agencies, everybody has been sitting on this thing for months. Months and months, because nobody could actually prove anything in this dossier. There was no witnesses, nobody came forward, and to boot, it may have been funded, the entire thing, by Hillary Clinton or her cronies. Not to mention, perhaps, maybe, a GOP adversary or two. I know a few of them come to your mind right off the bat. This is what they were thinking was going to come to light during the election. They kept saying, we have big news about Donald Trump. Big news. That Billy Bush video, I knew that wasn't going to be it. They were trying feverishly to get someone to corroborate this story, and they could not do it. They sat on it. And you know, the Clintons can blame James Comey all they want. They know that them not being able to corroborate this story after all the money they spent procuring it, that cost them the election. It always comes down to race and sex. Race and sex is what it comes down to now. All right, we'll continue with this a little bit when we come back. We'll talk about James Clapper. We'll talk about these cabinet hearings. Marco Rubio, is he completely off the reservation, wanting us to trust fake news and go on the record citing it? We have a lot more to get to, guys. Hang in there. You're listening to the Ryno Report.
Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool. Indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kbhmaui.com. That's kbhmaui.com. Aloha.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
When you really want Italian food, really good Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Why? Well, here's a couple of reasons. Value. You get a lot for your money along with a load of deliciousness. You're not eating corporate food. Columbo's is family owned and faithful to their long-held family recipes. We're talking service that's never fawning. You'll never get, "Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'll be your server tonight." Please. Jazz every night. Sizzling steaks, luscious fish entrees, yummy Italian specialties, and the world's greatest meatballs. Need I say more? Oh, I will. Value, deliciousness, Italian family specialties, friendly service. Columbo's. Yes! That little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's. Manja.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644.
Turn down that radio!
If this sounds familiar, you know it's time to address your hearing loss. But custom hearing aids can cost as much as $5,000 each and are not covered by Medicare. The good news is MD Hearing Aid offers medical-grade, FDA-registered hearing aids for savings of up to 90% over traditional hearing aids. MD Hearing Aid was founded by a Chicago surgeon determined to develop a hearing aid that was technologically advanced, simple to use, and most of all, affordable. Call 1-800-511-8384. You'll speak with a trained MD hearing aid professional who will match you with the best hearing aid for your needs. Over 100,000 satisfied customers have already made the call. Call right now for our exclusive 45-day risk-free trial and get free shipping and a year's worth of free batteries, a $50 value. But you have to call right now. Call MD Hearing Aid at 1-800-511-8384. That's 1-800-511-8384.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. We're talking about fake news. That's what Donald Trump called CNN, right?
You are fake news.
Yeah, you're fake news. BuzzFeed is a failing piece of garbage. Well, we knew that already. Failing piece of garbage. You know, this Acosta guy, he's talking out of turn, first of all, in the press conference. There's no rule that you have to get a question. When the person calls on you, if they're nice enough to, then you get to ask your question. You don't get to interrupt. You don't get to yell at the person giving the press conference. That's a sure way to find yourself out of there, or maybe 9 or 10 rows back at the next one. That's what I would do. Every time that CNN does something that the administration doesn't think is right, or not on the up and up, or they're doing the fake news thing, you put them back a row, right? So it's kind of like eventually you can work your way out of the room. Like, see, we gave you 15 chances. That's more than a hitter gets in baseball. You get 15 chances. Every time they do something wrong, you stick them back a row. And now you're showing their colleagues what happens when you decide to run with fake news stories or things that are unconfirmed. That's what they should do. That's what Sean Spicer. First press conference. In fact, forget the press conference. Donald Trump can just tweet it out. That's the rule. You can fit that into 140 characters. I have no doubt about that. Mainstream media, they're about to learn a couple of tough lessons. And it's going to hit them. It's going to smack them right across the face. You're not in control of the narrative anymore. You're just not. And the reason you're not is because they are going to change the way that information is sent out, how it's dispersed. They're going to use Twitter. They're going to use Facebook. They're going to have these direct, press releases. Sean Spicer may have the easiest job in Washington. All right. So, are they going to adjust? Most of them, no. They're not going to. I have a feeling, and I've said it before, I think last week or earlier this week, that maybe NBC and Universal, which, just as a point of fact, Reddit is very closely, BuzzFeed is very closely tied to NBC Universal. So just so you know. But NBC, they might be seeing it. They might say, you know what, maybe it's time we start to change our format a little bit, our bent a little bit. They hired Greta. Greta's going to be on MSNBC. I don't think Greta's going to cast aside her beliefs just to please people at NBC Universal. You have Megyn Kelly. I know she's not a big conservative. I get that. But I don't think she's a big liberal, which is what everybody on NBC News is. She'll be a little bit out of that element. So maybe they're starting to see, maybe it was just the revenues were down. That's how you get through to these people, is through revenues. So maybe they were seeing it. MSNBC and CNN, I mean, they're almost not worth Trump wasting his breath on. MSNBC a little better, a little better lately. But they got no viewers. Why pump up their ratings? They got no viewers. But he did the exact opposite to them as he did for, like, Carrier. Right? He saves 1,000 jobs at Carrier. He stands in front of the Carrier sign. The president-elect, you can't buy that kind of advertising. And here he does the exact opposite with CNN. He just told the American public, and everybody aired that CNN is fake news. So it's a war. It's going to be a war between Donald Trump, this administration, and mainstream media. There is no doubt about that. But he did a really, really good job yesterday of changing the topic and talking about the business and, things like that. So that's what he does. He's really good at it. And he comes out afterwards and he says, "Oh, this was a great press conference." I mean, he does what Donald Trump does. The tweet was, "We had a great news conference at Trump Tower today." And then he said a couple of fake news organizations were there, but the people truly get what's going on. So that's Donald Trump for you. Now, this little dust-up may have some economic impacts. You see, Time Warner is in the middle of a merger. AT&T is acquiring Time Warner, which, of course, is the parent company of the Clinton News Network, for $85 billion. $85 billion! That's a lot of money. And it's sort of rumored, it's been rumored all along, that AT&T doesn't really want CNN. And this dates back a few months. Donald Trump has pledged to not let this merger go through. It's antitrust. They're AT&T. They're getting too big. They just bought DirecTV. And so they may have to scrap CNN have to sell it off. So they'll sell it off, who knows, to BuzzFeed, who knows. They'll sell it off to somebody. And then Time Warner or AT&T wants to buy the rest of Time Warner. But again, this may not even go through, because once Trump's watchdogs are in there, the kibosh can be put on this thing very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. So there's that. There's BuzzFeed may incur some legal problems from all this. You have to prove malice. Now, intentional malice. They have to have knowingly published this while knowing it's false and publishing it anyway. Which, they may say, the BuzzFeed editor-in-chief, Ben Smith, he had that little thing at the end of it saying, there is serious reason to doubt the allegations at the end of this dossier that was published. I mean, does that admit that they knew it was false? Maybe. Will a court determine that? Maybe. I don't think it's going to be Donald Trump, though, who sues BuzzFeed. Not going to be him, because you don't want to be involved in litigation. You really don't. He's going to have enough to deal with. It's going to be Michael Cohen, if anybody, the lawyer, whose name was brought up, who they came out with his passport and said he was never in Prague. He was, he would be the guy BuzzFeed has to worry about. Is he a public figure? Is he a limited purpose public figure? That's what the court has to decide. So we'll talk about this a little bit more, and then we're going to move on. We got to talk about the Senate confirmation hearing. Lots of stuff going on. Marco Rubio is completely nuts. Chuck Schumer is completely nuts. The only sane person is Mad Dog Mattis. It's the only one. The only one that's halfway sane. Plus, who is the second biggest loser to Hillary Clinton? Who do you think came in second? Who lost the second most amount of money? And we have some quotes from President Nieto.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for our sizzling party savings. Book your wedding event or reception, your birthday bash, or a special event of any kind and celebrate at Angelo's and Vinci's. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate in one of our many festive banquet rooms. It's an incredible fun event you'll never forget. Food, music, and lots of fun. Call for the details, and don't forget our daily lunch and dinners, plus our Sunday champagne brunch. Just $14.95. Minestrone soup, sausage and peppers, pastas, chicken dishes, salads, scones, and muffins. Plus so much more, a chocolate fondue fountain, Zeppelis, cannolis, fresh fruit, champagne, and Junior will be waiting to make the omelet of your choice from our omelet bar. Angelo's and Vinci's has been voted on the Orange County Hot List as one of the top 5 Italian restaurants for the past 6 years. And don't forget our award-winning pizzas. Thin or thick, they're yummy. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022, 714-879-4022.
Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty Health Share. If your health care has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty Health Share could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty Health Share. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your health care. Liberty Health Share offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty Health Share offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty Health Share today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. So we're going to finish up this BuzzFeed stuff. You know, this sort of reminds me of what happened with Gawker Magazine. I could talk. Gawker and Hulk Hogan, right? They have to pay him like millions of dollars and the whole thing. Maybe something similar here with BuzzFeed. Could they incur a big lawsuit? Could they handle it? Maybe. I don't know that Donald Trump is the guy. Michael Cohen, the lawyer, he'd be the one because he was named personally in this thing. But again, is he an all-purpose public figure? Is he a limited-purpose public figure? Is he a public official? A court has to determine what he is to determine what sort of tort he would receive and if BuzzFeed, violated him by publishing this stuff. Did they have knowledge that the information was false? Or was there a reckless disregard for the truth when it came to publishing this? This would take probably years to sort out. And does Donald Trump want this going on, while he's president? Probably not. He doesn't need their money. Does Michael Cohen? I don't know. Maybe. I guess that's what it comes down to. And you got to remember, you really can't. If you're Donald Trump, you really can't go and fight BuzzFeed. You can't. I mean, you can slam them a little bit here and there, but you don't want to turn this. You have all the power. You regained control. This guy was never in Prague. This has never been corroborated. No one could run with this story. People in Washington have had it for months and months and months. It's squashed. It's done. And you don't want to incur this First Amendment fight that would surely come from this. You just kind of want to let it go. If you want to go after them somehow, and you want to really flank them and go around the backside, then you start to look at Hillary Clinton. You go back to the hashtag lock her up, because she may be at the root of this. She may be the one. So maybe that's how you get this from the back. Donald Trump's pretty smart. He'll figure it out. These confirmation hearings, they're going as bad as well as a fart in church. That's what's kind of happening. The guys are doing really well. T-Rex, the Tillerson Rex, he's doing really well. Sessions did very, very well. I watched Pompeo. This guy is really good. He's not a great orator, but he has really, really good answers. Ben Carson wasn't even reading from a script. He was talking. You know how Ben Carson does when he has interviews on TV? They have to fade They got to fade him out while he's still talking because he can just go on forever. He'd be a great radio host. Not that I'm looking for any more competition, but he'd be really good at it. The Jeff Sessions stuff, you had the Code Pink. They had their tiaras, their pink tiaras. You had the Klan people, the costumes. Who lets them into these buildings is beyond me. Hey, what are you planning on doing with that Klan costume? Oh, nothing. I just carried it around with me. Like, come on. Capitol Police, got to do a better job there. Got to do a better job. The whole thing has been the racist thing. It's been, are you a racist? What's your thoughts on Russia? That's what everything has been about. And then they were asking Mattis about climate change. What are you asking General Mattis about climate change for? This stuff is all just to bloody people up. It's to get stuff on record. That's what it's for. I think Sessions gets confirmed, no problem. I believe Mattis gets confirmed, no problem. Pompeo, probably the same thing. Tillerson is where your wild card is. You had Marco Rubio asking, how many times did he ask Rex Tillerson about Russia and Aleppo? Are they war crimes? Would you call it a war crime? Well, listen to you little warmonger. Oh, well, would you go on record as saying this? And he goes, listen, I don't have the confidential classified material to review, so I can't make a statement on that. And Marco Rubio, oh, well, none of this is classified. People are dead. Well, the actors involved, and the actions we're taking against them and the way we're getting to them, that's all classified. You cannot have the future Secretary of State go on record based off of the reporting from mainstream media. Marco Rubio says it's all in the public domain. All in the public domain. We're going to make an accurate assumption based on what CNN says? Based on what NBC says? ABC, CBS? No, you can't do that. And he did it again with Mattis. All the information's in the public domain. I would never base anything. I would never go on record citing the public domain. It is so muddied, it's so corrupt, it's so one-sided. Marco Rubio, I was starting to think maybe he was coming around. Maybe he'd be an asset. Looks like he's turning out to be a liability again. He's doing for the Republican side, trying to question everything, what Cory Booker tried to do when he testified against Jeff Sessions, breaking ranks, really, breaking tradition, to testify against a colleague. And that essentially was his first 2020 campaign speech. Marco Rubio doing much the same thing, trying to set the stage for his future, not worried about our future. There's the difference. Your GOP little e, they care about their future, not yours. Not yours. So Cory Booker, did you guys watch this? He didn't mention T-Bone at all. Remember T-Bone? That was the guy who threatened him when he was running for mayor of Newark. The guy didn't even exist. It was a figment of his imagination. A little green man he made up. I didn't see T-Bone. Chuck Schumer announces his opposition against Jeff Sessions for the Attorney General. Go figure. Schumer has said he will oppose everything. Everything. Not surprised. All right, when we come back, we will finish talking about this. I want to talk a little bit about James Mattis's hearing. That was, he's the smartest guy in the room. Without a doubt, smartest guy in that room. Plus, the Republicans are taking a step towards repealing Obamacare. We'll talk about that. And Mexico's President Nieto has something to say about our wall.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day. And little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy's special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you have severe knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, we have great news. Finally, there's a way to reduce your pain without surgery or taking medications. Call us today and learn how you can qualify to get a pain-relieving knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. We'll even ship your brace for free. If you have excruciating knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, don't wait. You may qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving, nearly invisible knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. I've used one, they're comfortable, and they work, and we guarantee your happiness. So call right now and get yours. I promise, we're here to take your call. Thank you.
800-290-0759. 800-290-0759. 800-290-0759. That's 800-290-0759.
So you've missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty HealthShare has the answer. Liberty HealthShare offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. For those of you who have already enrolled but just aren't satisfied with what you've chosen, there's still hope. Liberty HealthShare allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their health care, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. Members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on individuals for not having health care insurance, thus giving you freedom from insurance. Liberty HealthShare empowers their members by giving them the ability to choose any doctor or hospital across the nation. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American like myself, looking for contract-free health care, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll at any time of the year, call 855-585-4237 or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Do it today.
This is Jeff Carlisi from the Band 38 Special. Let us never forget that police lives matter.
You're listening to the Ryno Report, always right, on the RWB Network.
The Republicans want to repeal it. You know, they actually, with a straight face, say that the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation on Wall Street. They actually say that. You know, I remember when, you know, I've supported my husband through all of his races in Arkansas. And one of my favorite political ads of all time was a radio ad, rural Arkansas, where the announcer said, wouldn't it be great if somebody running for office said something, we could have an immediate reaction as to whether it was true or not? Well, we've trained this dog. And the dog, if it's not true, he's going to bark. And then the dog was barking on the radio. And so, you know, people were like barking at each other for days after that. I'm trying to figure out how we can do that with the Republicans. You know, We need to get that dog and follow them around, and every time they say these things, like, oh, the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation. I think we could cut right through a lot of their their claims.
All right, guys, welcome back to the last segment of this hour of the show. So Jeff Sessions is a racist. If you listen to all of these Democrats up there on Capitol Hill, why is it like every Republican has to denounce every single member of the KKK, but you never have to have a Democrat denounce George Soros or Bill Ayers or Black Lives Matter, people who are actively ruining our country. Meanwhile, some guy sitting in a trailer with a white hood on, Donald Trump has to denounce all of them. Jeff Sessions. They gotta bring up this race card, which you would think for Democrats would be a touchy subject, seeing as how they invented the KKK. And they were the main owners of slaves. You would think it would be a bad topic for them. But the Republicans for 20, 30, 40 years have refused to hit back on this. It took a guy like Dinesh D'Souza to finally bring it to mainstream, to get it out there in the movies. And you didn't hear many Republicans comment on that movie either, Hillary's America. Very, very few. Very few. We talked about it here on this show with him. All right, so James Mattis, he's got his confirmation hearing going. You have Kristen Gillibrand out of New York. She's asking about like LGBT stuff. Somebody asked him about climate change. Like, would you let this guy just do his job? He leads thousands of people into battle. It's like you're asking him questions about being in battle. He's been there. He knows war. He knows what it looks like, what it smells like. These people don't know. Let him do his job. He's going to get confirmed. No problem. No problem. Thursday morning, like 1:25 in the morning, Republicans took a step towards repealing and replacing Obamacare. It was a very procedural step. It's this budget reconciliation thing. They have to get this thing passed in order to avoid filibusters with the Democrats. It's all very complicated. We're not supposed to understand it. That's how they get everything past us. And plus, you have to have Tom Price, who's going to be the Health and Human Services Secretary. He has to be confirmed, and there's a deadline of March 3rd when they have to vote by. Anyway, the Senate vote got this to the House. The House is going to vote Friday on it. And 241 Republicans in the House, 194 Democrats. All the Democrats need are like 24 people to flip over, and this thing doesn't pass. And now we're not sure where the Freedom Caucus is going. They're saying out of the 20 House Republicans who represent districts where Hillary won in the fall, 18 of them are hard no's. So it's very possible this budget reconciliation may not go through. But again, it's repeal. You got to repeal and replace at the same time. You can't leave people hanging because people did pick up insurance. A lot of people lost insurance. I get that. And prices went up and doctors weren't included. But there were a few people that benefited. Few. I'm not supporting Obamacare. Please do not misunderstand me. But you have to make sure that even if there's one person that benefited, one person, you still have to make sure that they do not lose their health care, or this whole thing is going to land on the desk of Donald Trump, and it's going to land on his head in 2020. So we got to make sure that they do the right thing here. Also, we're moving quick today in the last segment. George Soros lost $1 billion, $1 billion, because of Hillary's loss. He shorted a lot of stocks, thinking that when Trump won, the stocks were going to go down and he'd make money on it. It's called a short, when in fact the market went up almost 10%. He lost $1 billion. Good for him. Good for defund Soros. Defund Soros. Also, last thing here, President Peña Nieto of Mexico, he sort of reiterates what ex-Presidente Vicente Fox said last week, that we're not paying for the wall, Mexico's not paying for the wall. Doesn't matter, we're not going to bill you. We're just going to cut your funding. We're going to cut your money so you can try to save face in front of your people all you want. Guess what? There's going to be a big, beautiful wall on the southern border with perhaps a shrinking door in it the more you open your mouth. All right, guys, hope you had fun today. A big thank you to all those serving our country at home and abroad. And a huge thank you to those in the law enforcement community. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all the hard work. We all depend on you. Please stay safe. God bless all of you. God bless all of your families. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Check out all the old episodes on RynoReport.com. And until tomorrow, I'm the Ryno, and I'm out.